You are now listening to Serious Minds RNTV with your host, Professor Griff. The call-in number is 516-654-7688. That's 516-654-7688. This is Professor Griff, and this is Serious Minds RNTV. Serious Minds for Serious Minds. Seriously.
Greetings, family. The Resurrection Formula is on sale now. You can order it at www.professorgriff.me or simply call 678-557-2919 or just text 678-557-2919 or scan the QR code on the screen. This is Professor Griff. Thank you very much. The Resurrection Formula is on sale now at www.professorgriff.me. Thank you. All right, greetings, family. Can everyone hear me? I want to make sure everyone is on deck and everyone can hear me. This is Professor Griff for Serious Minds, RNTV, and you know what the RNTV stands for. It's just radio and television, simply that. No code words for us to rally around, put our monies together to go buy Twinkies and take over the government. No, it's just don't come with nothing crazy. Radio and television, RNTV. All right, this is Professor Griff, and as promised, all right, I want to deal with this very interesting, in-depth, timely subject that I know that we need to deal with tonight, dealing with this mass shooting in Buffalo, New York as a matter of fact, I should say is a planned mass shooting in Buffalo, New York by a white Yup, we're going to interfere and get all up in your brain cells and hope we discombobulate kind of contribute to the conversation. We really appreciate that. So without any further ado, I want to bring on my good brother, comrade in the struggle. Definitely one of those kind of individuals that definitely keep the people in his heart and in his mind as we move forward with every breath we take, with every move we make. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and enemies alike. Yes, my good brother, Kalonji Changa. All right.
What's happening? What's good, brother?
Peace, man. I'm making it happen. What's happening with you?
I see. I'm alive on arrival. Happy to be on deck with you and the serious minds around here.
Oh, okay. You know? Give thanks. Let the people know who you are, what's your platform, and where can they find you.
No doubt. My name is Kalonji Changa. I am the founder of the FTP movement. I'm also host of Riot Starter TV and co-owner of Black Power Media, and a few other things. And tonight, I'm your brother and comrade, and hopefully we can get down to some business tonight.
Okay, cool. Shout out to Quan, who's always on deck. Quan is my moderator, man, and she's always on point making it happen. And there are some really dedicated individuals that come on every night to lend and show their support. Voodoo Glitch, Larry Penton, I know my man Doc and the rest of the crew over here on IG. Shout out to everyone on Facebook, IG, Periscope, Twitter. Thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate that. So do me a favor, just real quick, give me your assessment on this the idea leading up to individuals like this this character pulling this thing off, this mass shooting off in Buffalo. Can you give me a basic your overview or history of just racial violence in America and how we got to this point? Is it possible?
Yeah, I think that when you ask how we got here, I mean, I think it was our first encounter. You know what I'm saying? We they've been violent from jump, and I think that cats like this particular individual, he's just acting out what his ancestors have done for millennials. You know what I'm saying? For centuries. We know that of course he pre-planned, his attack was premeditated, but at the same time he comes from a long history of folks. A lot of folks been talking about it's the Trump era and it's because of Trump. It ain't because of Trump. It started with actually before some of these earlier slave masters, these quote unquote founding fathers, the George Washingtons and the Thomas Jeffersons and all of these clowns. These are the original original slave masters or whatever. So, I mean, it's we're not surprised. I think that more than anything, we're kind of surprised that we're still singing the same song and no one's heard it yet. Sometimes people say that we're preaching to the choir, but the choir don't necessarily know the know the lessons all the time. They hardly know the tunes. I think you froze a little bit, Griff.
Okay, this is not
you're freezing up, my man.
who we're dealing with. We understand their tactics. We understand who these people are. All right, scholar upon researcher upon freedom fighter laid this thing out. All right, so just to let the people know that's just tuning in, I've done show after show after show and I have no problems. Now all of a sudden I get this brother on and all of a sudden we have problems with and there's nothing different. The setup here is the same. I didn't change internet providers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Paul, you sending me a message I was breaking up. I don't, that's them. You understand what I'm saying? So there has been revolutionary after revolutionary that have come to the people and that given us an historic overview on who these people are that we're dealing with. This is no different. All right? These people are quote unquote on code. All right? Someone says, well, this is I heard today that they said that this is a glimpse into a look into the system being broken. And this is proof that the system is being broken. No. The system that they built centered around this idea of race, this race construct, this racism, white supremacy. This system is not broke. It's doing what it's designed to do. Would you agree?
Without a doubt. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like you said, this is, I think that we're stuck on stupid. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, I think we're still stuck on the whole exaggerated American effect. We're thinking that we're thinking. And we're walking around here as if we are part of the masses or we are part of the mainstream in their eyes. But the reality is you know, we're disposable to them, and we always have been that. You know what I mean? That's why they don't care about. Last week we talked about the rappers and whatnot, these young boys and the dumb shit they're doing, but it's all by design, and they're playing right into that particular dynamic. You know, we're just caught out, you know, running around talking about, you know, they won't try that over here and they won't try that over there. All that's bullshit. The first thing they're going to do is attack soft targets like they've been doing. And, you know, from there, then they're up to ante, you know? So that's just the reality of it, man.
Right. So, Kalonji, just to let you know, these people are messing with the feed. It seems like it's breaking up every 5 minutes or so.
Well, you know, this is what
because it's almost like What'd you say?
No, I said they had you froze. They got you looking like you 30 years younger, and then added on another 30. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you know, this is what comes with war. You know, this is what comes with war. This is how it's supposed to be. But you know, we're gonna make it happen regardless. You know, so you know, whenever I see you freeze or whatever, cool. I just jump in if that's cool.
All right, that's cool. So listen, I did a little bit of research dealing with this idea now of this great replacement theory. So when some white people are trying to explain it and explain it, his actions away, it gets really convoluted and ugly, because even the white people that are fighting one another are trying to figure out who to blame this on.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And even that is kind of confusing to me. Whoopi Goldberg, someone that I really don't like, but that's just Professor Griff.
That's all of us.
She said it though.
Right.
She said it. She said all them white people are the same. We don't view them any different. That's white on white crime happening. Right. And then they came after her. She changed her tune real quick.
Man, look.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's dive into that thing first. And then what I would like for you to do, can you give us an overview of the events that happened with this white supremacist? So I'm going to dive into the great replacement theory, and then we'll kind of do an overview on what happened, and then we'll piece it apart from there. Is that cool?
No, it's all the way live. All right, so cool. You know, as I know it, or whatever, as I've read and researched or whatever, you know, we know that he traveled 3 hours. He traveled over 200 miles, and we know that he's an 18-year-old cracker who had a problem at his school last year, and they put him into a mental health facility for a day and a half. Somehow, as whiteness would have it, he was able to purchase 3 weapons afterwards. Right, one was considered legal, the Bushmaster AK, and the other 2 were for some reason they were illegal.
So did he have AR-15 or AK-47?
No, you know what? He did have an AR. My bad. I appreciate you correcting me. That's what's good for having the gun trainer on deck. You know, he said, don't fuck up your weapons in the country. Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate that. So basically, of course, we know that he rolled up on the set, and he began shooting. I believe he shot 3 people outside, and then he came inside and began firing. And one of the victims, which I really hate calling us victims, but the reality is the reality, who was a former lieutenant on the Buffalo Police Department, exchanged fire with him, but dude had on, you know, body armor. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, as Griff knows, most of the times when we're taught to train, we're taught to fire center mass, right? But
I sent a match.
Absolutely. But you know, when you see a cat who has body armor on, you got to look for the chink in the armor. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever's going to get him to where there's somewhere where he's loose. You understand what I'm saying? But unfortunately, when you're in a situation like that, I could imagine that the elder brother was firing to try to take this cat down, and it was just to no avail. He opened up on him. to my understanding, he was hitting these folks with headshots. You know, a lot of folks are like, well, you know, how do you train against that? You know what I'm saying? Or no one else had a gun. First of all, we have these draconian gun laws in places like New York.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's difficult for many folks to carry. Right now, unfortunately, the folks, you know, the brothers and sisters in the streets, they ain't got no problems with carrying because of the fact that they're gonna do what they have to do. But many of our elders, you know, they law abiding and all that other stuff. That's another story. But the situation ends up him shooting 13 people, 11 black and 2 white. Of course, all 10 that were murdered were black people. Now, yesterday, one of the family members who we know from here in Atlanta, she hit me up and she was like, hey, CNN wants to interview me. And she said, you know, she asked me, can I come on the platform with her, come on CNN with her? I said, all right, cool. So she hits me up 15 minutes before and she's like, you know what these motherfuckers said? And I'm like, what's going on? She said, we didn't know that Kalonji Changa was so militant. Now, mind you, I've been on that platform like 4 other times before, but I guess this is someone new or whatever the case, or what they ended up telling her. She said, well, what do you mean? She said, you know, we did some research and we saw him talking about guns and so on and so forth. It's amazing how when black folks talk about guns, then it's illegal for us to even discuss guns. But here it is, this cracker can go purchase guns and he's a mentally ill 18-year-old, right?
Wait, purchase guns illegally. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely, without a problem. But you know, so she said, she asked him, she like, what do you mean? He's for all people, so on and so forth. You know, she tried to get him to run with it. And they told her that you know, if they're gonna have me on, they might as well have Tucker Carlson on. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So she said that they straight up told her, look, this right here, we want it to be about the memory of the family. You know, we don't want it to be an uproar, so on and so forth. But the bottom line, me saying all of that is just to say that they want to control the narrative from beginning to end. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want a Professor Griff. They don't want a Kalonji Changa on there talking about what needs to be talked about because of the fact that we might further fan the flames. We may further incite, quote unquote, you know, the brothers and sisters that's watching the platform, watching the program. But you know, so I'm going to stop right there. But for the most part, of course, you know, he rolls up, shoots the spot up, and he's kindly escorted out. You know, like they do all these white mass murderers and terrorists, and they escort him out. And they probably took him to the steakhouse or something. And you know, he's already pled innocent, which I don't even understand how you're pleading not guilty, and you haven't even had a real court date just yet. But that's a whole nother story.
Right. So let me ask you a few questions. So he was motivated by race. They said the idea of this great replacement theory is very reminiscent to what Tucker Carlson spews every other night on one of the most popular and most watched cable news shows. Yeah. So even though if you don't mention the term black, we know if you're talking about black people. So the whole idea, just in a nutshell, is the fact that, but matter of fact, let me put it up on the screen and then we'll dive into it and then we'll go back into some of the things you discussed. Okay?
No doubt.
All right. All right. This is the great replacement theory explained. All right. That I did do some cross-referencing. I have a couple of other sources, but this is just one I found, and I found it very interesting. A racist conspiracy theory goes mainstream. A racist conspiracy theory. Right off the rip, I got a problem with that. Because as soon as you start labeling, put the label conspiracy theory on it, it takes it from a theory, it takes it from what it actually is, actual fact, to a theory, and people dismiss it.
Right.
Because we've taught to listen to these code words in racism and white supremacy and play some things off, run with some things, and then call the author of some of the other things absolutely crazy. They're not calling Tucker Carlson crazy.
Not at all.
Most people are not holding him and the people that think like him at Fox News accountable. All right. So it says a racist conspiracy theory goes mainstream. But what exactly is the Great Replacement theory? Where did it come from and how is it being used today? What are the implications of its growing popularity? All right. These are the questions they tend to ask themselves. All right. In order to get feedback and keep their finger on the pulse of the masses of the people, both black, brown, red, yellow, and white, so they can continue the narrative. Now, mind you, they hire scientists, they hire writers, they hire photographers, they hire conflict crisis actors. All right, so they hire people to write these kind of things up. So then when they say, well, we can only charge them with 2 counts of murder, premeditated murder. And black people are sitting back like, well, what about the other 9 people that he murdered? Well, we wasn't sure if we could get a conviction on that, so we didn't charge him.
Right.
All right. So if we look at the recent court cases that have happened involving white people shooting and killing black people, you can see the pattern over and over and over and over again. All right. I'm just going to put a pin in that for 1 second. I want to say to Ben Crump.
Crump the chump.
We respect you to a degree, and we understand you have a job to do. But Ben Crump, so do we. All right? I would just like to know and put this out to you, Mr. Ben Crump. Who are you talking to other than the people in your law office? All right? Because I notice the script stays the same with every case that you're on. You understand what I'm saying? And I want to be able to have Ben Crump introduce a different set of code words, so to speak, for us to let us know, brother, are you really with us? Because it almost seems like you're following the script now. All right? We don't want to write you off as an ambulance chaser. All right? You're right, Kwon. We don't want to write you off and just say, okay, well, how does he get into these places this quick? All right? Is he in the Crump mobile? You understand what I'm saying? Got a private Crump plane or whatever? I'm just asking, bro. So I'm saying the script needs to change, bro, because we need to hear from you. I heard some brothers say it on some of the other platforms, that black rhetoric. And I'm like, maybe I'll ask Kalonji, well, what is the black rhetoric? We can answer that in a minute, because until we're free, we're going to continue the black rhetoric, whatever you think that is. Now, from the few brothers that I've heard that weren't talking black, they were talking human and talking American. Well, white people don't see us as American, nor do they see us as human.
That's right.
In order for this gentleman or this individual to do what he's done to black people, you got to be able to dehumanize and have black people look and reduce down to the level of an animal before you do what you did. And even with that, you don't even treat animals like that. Back to the Great Replacement theory. The Great Replacement theory is simple term states that welcoming immigration policies, particularly those implicating non-white immigrants, are part of a plot designed to undermine or replace the political power and culture of white people living in Western countries. Can I say to you, whoever wrote this article, white people make the laws in this country. White people are toggling between what immigrants to let in. It wasn't a question when Russia invaded Ukraine and you let in thousands and thousands of white Ukrainians.
That's right.
In this country. It wasn't a question then. It wasn't a question at all, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, you applauded. As a matter of fact, Biden went on television and crafted certain legislation and certain laws to allow certain monies to aid in military might for Ukraine to defend itself and for the refugees fleeing Ukraine to go into other countries. Monies was set aside for that. So what they're saying with the Great Replacement theory is immigration policies in America are being crafted, not by us, but by white people, all right, to let immigrants come in this country to replace white people, starting with jobs, and then with politics as far as voting is concerned, and then in the schools, all right? And I could go on and on and on. Next, multiple, did you have a comment on that, or you want me to keep going?
Now keep on rapping, will you?
Okay. Multiple iterations of the government replacement theory have been continued to be used by anti-immigration groups, white supremacists, and other prominent people that say this is an irritant and a thorn in the side of white people who claim America is theirs. I'm gonna let you marinate on that for a minute, family.
Right. And they
came to this country.
That's right.
As thieves, robbers, murderers, cutthroats,
rapists,
taking the land from black indigenous people here. Some of y'all call them Indians. Some of y'all call them Native Americans, black people, and the Moors who were already here, and other indigenous people that were already here. Came and stole the land, enslaved the people, murdered the people, and then a few years later you claim that America is yours. And now you have fear that, but because the borders have been open, mind you, Kalonji, they don't say shit about the Canadian border.
Of course not.
The borders have never been just open for people to come through into the United States. But they gladly let white people in. I don't give a fuck if it's through Ellis Island or through Arizona or through Texas. All right? So they are saying that this is the irritant. This is the thorn in their side. White racist, white supremacist groups are saying this has to stop. All right? So what they're doing is they're flooding the ranks of police departments, sheriff departments, border patrol, where they can spew their doctrine and their hatred. Next, the rhetoric of invasion. The theory often uses martial and violent rhetoric of migrant invasion must be stopped before it conquers white America. This is their fear. The fear.
Hold it, Griff.
Yeah.
Did you just say that they said invaders?
They said that the theory often uses martial and violent rhetoric of a migrant invasion that must be stopped before it conquers white America.
Right. So, I mean, it's just like you just pointed out, the thievery, the murders, you know, the outright genocide, the nutricide, the fratricide, the whole nine, right? And for these and like I said, I don't know if people is a proper term, but for these things to suggest that there's an invasion after they came and invaded and stole every fucking thing that exists in every area they went to, from the language, I mean, the motherfuckers not only stole the land, they stole the people as well. They're still your ass. You understand what I'm saying? Without pity and without mercy, but they have the audacity to fix their tongues to talk about an invasion, the original invaders. So now they have to defend the shit that they stole.
Exactly. So what they have to do is they craft certain laws, like they come up with this critical race theory, because they don't even want you talking about the thievery, the murder. All right? They felt a certain kind of way when the statues were coming down over the last 2 years. All right? Let's go on. So it says voter replacement. Now, this is the great replacement theory. Voter replacement. The theory also sometimes incorporates the inaccurate assumption that non-white immigrants will vote a certain way, and therefore pro-immigration policies are designed by elites to diminish the political influence of white people. Now, this is all coded, family. When they talk about elites, they're talking about the white Jewish Kabul. All right. So they said Jewish people came up with the plan, all right, to usurp the average white person in the United States of America by putting these policies in place. Then, last but not least, anti-Semitism. And still other iterations. The theory can be found embedded in a web of other xenophobic conspiracies, including anti-Semitic notions that Jewish elites are responsible for the replacement plot. This is the replacement theory, in essence, explained.
Right.
They feel that black people will, because of what is the law that they came? It's not a law, but where they said black people are benefiting from laws to go to that was enacted to go to school for free.
Damn, it's right.
Help me out.
Right. Yeah, right on the tip of my tongue. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just haven't heard it in a while. Affirmative action.
Affirmative action, right. So they said black people take advantage of affirmative action, and the black people that take advantage of affirmative action are not even qualified to pass the entry exam into these particular universities. But every single time you find black people in the room with white people, it almost seems like we're the most qualified in the room having the discussion.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? So this is their idea and this is their fear. Did not Dr. Frances Cress Welsing hit it on the head in her book, The ISIS Papers, when she talked about the fear of white genetic survival? Here they fear that black people will rise so exponentially in America to the point where we will take over everything. And then after black people, it's going to be Asians. After Asians, it's going to be Mexicans, then Native Americans. And then the fear of us coming together puts fear in white people's heart. This is why they can march down the street with tiki torches and khakis talking about you will not replace us.
Right. Yeah. And it's the whole thing, even the law, the abortion laws, you know what I'm saying? To a great extent, it's for white women that they're talking about, because they don't want, they're afraid of that genetic survival, that genetic annihilation, you know? So, you know, it's important. I mean, it's funny because just reading this and going through this whole great replacement theory, it shows you the level of insanity they suffer from. Because for one, when you talk about the whole voter laws and voter act and all that type of shit, well, you know, that's felonious. It don't, you know, anyone that's quote unquote black in a position of power in this country, they already bought and sold. You understand what I'm saying? When you look at Biden right now, the game plan, the game that Biden is running is so cold. It's so cold that every black woman that he puts into office, they have to have a white counterpart. Either you have to have a white husband or you have to have a white wife, and that goes for from the press secretary to the new justice in office. You know what I'm saying? Kamala Harris, so on and so forth. I mean, he's bringing in these black women, and unfortunately, we're so duped and confused that we think that advancement means that these little trinkets that you get, you know what I'm saying, will move you further up on the chessboard. That's not reality. That's a game designed to crush you because of the fact that you still have sisters jumping up and down talking about black girl magic. Black girl magic with these motherfuckers running with Biden, with the white counterparts. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people say, well, you can't help who you love. Well, do your thing. But why is it that none of these black women have a black counterpart? I'm confused about that. You understand what I'm saying? But it's all game.
I don't buy into that. You can't help who you love.
No, I mean, listen, man. I you know, there ain't no need to even get into that bullshit. But
we'll talk about that on another show.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, the reality is right now, you know, no matter what these troglodytes say, the reality is the opposite. You know what I'm saying? They're just confused and they're fighting against each other because of the fact that, the fact is that they're beefing with each other because of the fact that one side wants to move their supremacy doctrine further, faster, and the other one wants to give little trinkets. They want to, as Malcolm said, give us Novocaine so we can suffer peacefully.
Right.
And that's where we are right now, because we're excited. As long as white folks are putting up signs saying Black Lives Matter. Oh, see, they cool, they down. I mean, look, she got a Black Lives Matter t-shirt on. You understand what I'm saying? We got to move beyond allies. We need comrades. So if you're going to really get down for the get down, then show and prove. Otherwise, get the fuck out the way.
Right.
Or give up some resources that we can do what we need to do with it.
Yeah, because I'm way beyond the Black Lives Matter bumper sticker t-shirt or the posting or the stick or the sign in the front yard. Or the flag hanging on the side of your house. Exactly.
Like miss me with that bullshit. But the thing is, yeah, go ahead. Continue on. I'm sorry.
No. Go on.
No. I'm just, I was wrapping up anyway. I'm just saying, just looking at this page that you have up right now, just the connection and how all of this stuff plays a part. You know what I'm saying? Just the people that he studied, the people that he looked up to, like the white boy, what's his name? Brent. What the hell's his name? Brenton Tarrant, the cat from the Christ, the Christchurch mosque out in New Zealand that shot 51 people. I mean, this is one of the people he looked up to. This is where, this is where he got the manifesto from. You know what I'm saying? And then you have folks saying, well, I don't think it was about race. On this motherfucker's gun, he wrote, "Here's your reparations." You know what I'm saying? He had the names of several different assassins or murderers that have taken the lives of Africans here in America, so and abroad. So our people are really lost when it comes to this whole thing, man.
So on the front of his gun he had nigger. All right. So my thing is, anybody that's into firearms and that knows how to shoot, know that you focus on the front sight. All right. And this is what he was focusing in on. Everything about this individual leads to the fact that this was a racially motivated hate crime. So for those individuals that claim this is not about race, that I would like to hear from them. Well, what is it about? He's not the lone nut. You understand what I'm saying? He's not one of them individuals that's insane, because the judge asked him, do you understand the charges that are being what you're being charged with? He says yes, he understands. So he's not crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not crazy, so he understands.
Right. But then you got him talking about the ages. They're like, well, he's 18 and his brain hasn't matured yet and all this type shit. As I pointed out earlier, look, when you join the U.S. military, the required age is 18 and 17 with your parents' consent. These little motherfuckers that they send overseas to murder folks all across the world, these are the same ages as this dude. You understand what I'm saying? But when it comes to murdering black people, his brain hasn't matured yet. But it's pretty goddamn mature if they send you overseas to murder some folks in Somalia, or to murder some folks in Afghanistan or the Congo or Rwanda. Then it's okay about your age, But we have to really tap into our inner selves and make a decision on whether we want to be moving targets or whether we want to respond in kind.
Right. I was reading some of the things in the comment, and someone says, what are the black militias going to do about the situation? So when people ask questions like that, Kalonji, I laugh inside, because I immediately look at these people as agents. Because the question, and people already know my answer, what are you going to do? Why are you relying on somebody else? Here's this chick want to give your bitch ass some ass, and you going to ask your man, well, what you going to do? No, what you going to do? You understand what I'm saying? Somebody coming to rob you, you going to ask somebody else what you going to do. What are you going to do, whoever you are, Mr. C? We always wait for somebody else to make the move, to jump on this thing and defend. What are you going to do? Because I always say to people, when they come to get my ass tonight, guess who they coming for in the morning?
Believe that. Believe that. And it's funny. I get cats all the time talking about something. Hey man, keep doing what you do, brother. I love what you're doing. What the fuck does that mean to me? You
Right.
love the fact that one of my OGs told me a long time ago. He said, "Don't let these motherfuckers make you no martyr." You understand what I'm saying? He said, "Because you'll be in your grave, and these motherfuckers won't even shout your name out, or at the most, they might mention you when they're pouring libations, because we call on our ancestors so much, we make them work while they're here, and even in the spiritual world, we still so damn lazy." That many folks, I mean, you should have a certain amount of work in before you even allowed to call on the ancestors. You understand what I'm saying? Make an effort to match our ancestors' work, not just call on them. We're going to leave it up to the ancestors. We're going to leave it in the Lord's hand. Look, what are you going to do at the end of the day?
Right.
Ultimately, that's the question that folks need to be asking. What have you done for your nation today?
Right. So we can run down a list of what you can actually do at white in America at age 18. All right. You got that mental institution, that situation at your high school threatening everybody. All right. When you wrote your manifesto, you could spell to the point where you wrote 100 pages. So there's a lot of things you can do. You can get a driver's license, buy a gun, drive your ass 200 miles, coordinates, reconnaissance mission. You sat at that place, that supermarket the day before with the same clothes on, harassing people. All right. You drove by, you mapped it out, you went and bought the ammo, locked, loaded, topped it off. All right. Took it off safety. You bought a helmet. You got level 3 body armor. You got tactical gear.
Mm-hmm.
And you mean to tell me they're calling you an 18-year-old boy? No, hell no. No. They said he wrote 180 pages.
Right. I mean, it's and we agreeing with that shit. I mean, parakeeting it like it's whatever they said is what matters. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they have a black child that's 16 years old or 17 years old and he commits a crime, then it's black male did such and such. When it comes to white boys or white men, quote unquote, when they're under 21, they're still boys. Their minds haven't developed totally, so on and so forth. But we know all of that shit is game. And we have to get off that horse and stop repeating the same thing that they're repeating. If you're old enough to go kill over in Iraq and they can send you a man and a soldier and it's okay then it shouldn't be okay here when you're talking about murdering black people. When you're talking about, I mean, the softest targets they can find. This is the cowardice nature. If you think about just on what you just said, level 3 body armor. You went inside a supermarket that you cased out. Now, Griff, you've been all over the world. I know you've been to Buffalo. He knew exactly
several times, yeah.
Man, he knew exactly where the hell not to go, right? He didn't. I don't give a fuck what kind of body armor he had. He knew to find the softest target he could. The youngest person he found in there was 32, and everyone else was 52 and older. You know what I'm saying? So you're murdering 87-year-olds. You're murdering 72-year-olds. Folks in their 60s. I mean, that's some real cowardice shit. Some real cowardice shit. And then they say he put the gun to his neck when the police came and they talked him out of killing himself. If that had been your ass, Griff, I don't give a fuck if you put the gun in your mouth and pull the trigger, they would still shot your ass. I don't believe he dead. They just say, I thought it was a taser. They'd hit your ass with a motherfucking AR.
They said he planned this for months.
5 months.
And some of it was online as he was planning it.
And dumped the ammo at his friend's house. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that was reported 5 hours ago. That his friend and his friend's mother, they said he brought the ammo, I think 5 cases of ammo or 5 boxes of ammo to his friend's house. And his mother was like, look, let me put it in my trailer because of the fact that you have kids and we don't want no problem. But they claimed they didn't know anything about what his intentions were. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, this was well planned. Well planned. He knew what time it was. He'd been talking about it.
Exactly what he's doing. So now you're going through this. Now listen, this was reminiscent of the shooting at the mosque in Australia, because he live streamed it also.
Right.
So now This has become a pattern of young white boys traveling with guns with the intention on killing black people, brown people, Muslims, and other people. All right? So now what you're seeing on the screen is what have been the consequences of the Great Replacement theory. Evil, hate, and violence have sprung directly from the Great Replacement theory. Thank you, Tucker Carlson. Thank you, Fox News. Thank you to all you Negroes that don't have the heart enough to stand up and speak up and out against this particular ideology. Simply because now the ideology now becomes words. Words become deeds. These deeds now becomes action. All right? And what's laying at the base of the action is this. On August 11, 2017, hundreds of individuals representing anti-Semitic and white supremacist groups, including the Ku Klux Klan, gathered for a Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, a two-day event that sparked extreme violence and led to the death of a counter-protester. The white extremists kicked off the rally by referencing the Great Replacement theory, chanting, "You will not replace us, and Jews will not replace us." Wow. You will not replace us. So let me understand the mindset. First of all, no one's trying to be you with your reprobate mind, your non-melanated ass. No one's trying to be you. I think what's happening is Dr. Francis Chris Wilson was absolutely correct. All right? Your birth rate is so low, it almost canceled out one another. One child born, another white male or white woman dies. All right? Dr. Francis Cress Wilson was absolutely correct when she talked about black people being the majority people on the planet, having the dominant gene. All right? So then now, white women seeking relationships and marriage and having babies with black men, this is what they fear. So you could, but Kalonji, historically speaking, you can roll your mind back hundreds of years at the peak of what the Ku Klux Klan was spewing. At that particular time, Dr. Joy DeGruy says there were 600,000 mixed race children born in America at the peak of the Ku Klux Klan. Marinate on that for a minute.
Right.
At the peak of them calling you a nigger in America. You having no rights, no land, no anything, no rights over your own body. And everything that they put in place, Jim Crow laws, even after redlining,
right,
even after vagrancy laws, even after all of the laws that they constructed, there was 600,000 mixed race babies in America. Somebody was doing something.
Somebody like somebody.
So when you chant, right, when you chant, you will not replace us. No, we're not trying to replace you. We're just trying to be ourselves. But see, you lied on our elders and you lied on our ancestors. You do have a fear of white genetic annihilation. You do have a fear of the black man's testicles and the genetic material that lies in the testicles of the black man. This is what you fear. Or else, why would you spew the Great Replacement theory? And why would these people on Fox News get the free reign to say whatever it is that they want to say, regardless, Kalonji, or whether it caused the murder of black people or not? They are free to spew any kind of hatred that they want to spew.
Yes, yes.
On October 27th, 2018, 11 congregants in a Pittsburgh synagogue were killed in one of the deadliest attacks against Jewish community in the United States. The shooter's belief in the Great Replacement theory precipitated the attack, all right, as he believed that HIAS, a Jewish American nonprofit organization that provides aid and assistance to refugees, was working to bring invaders in to kill our people. They're bringing invaders.
These are some strange kind of motherfuckers, boy. I'm telling you, man. What they say, the original motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? These cats is cold, man. I mean, it's like the logic is illogical, you know. Wow.
So now when you hear these Republicans and Democrats, I put some of their names up on the board. When you hear these individuals repeating the sentiment of a Tucker Carlson, Representative Matt Gaetz, Republican for Florida, tweeted, "At Tucker Carlson is correct about the replacement theory as he explains what's happening to America. America was never yours, white people. Let's get this straight from the rip. America was never yours. And stop talking about critical race theory. It was never taught in the school. We could take a poll right now on how much African history or Black American history or Black history was even taught from K to 12 in any schools across America. Very, 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 very little.
Yeah. I mean, and you shouldn't expect it. I mean, to quote Khalid, if they won't treat you right, they ain't gonna teach you right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, I don't even understand the logic in us expecting white America to teach Black folks about their true history. I mean, that makes no sense. Not when we're talking about a system, not when we're talking about systematic oppression, systematic domination, systematic racism. You know what I'm saying? Colonialism. Right. You don't expect that because of the fact that they're not. I mean, at first they didn't even want enslaved Africans to learn how to read. So if they didn't want you to know how to read, what the fuck you think they going you? I mean, and we're under some mindset that because they're saying, "Ooh, don't teach critical race theory in school," we're gonna force it down their throats. For what? For what? Whenever they take anything of ours, they take it and they water it down. They want to take Harriet, who was an abolitionist, who was pulling that thing out on cats, and say, okay, boom, let's put her on a $20 bill. They want to take Malcolm and they say, let's put him on a stamp. You understand what I'm saying? It's the watering down. So we don't need a quote unquote critical race theory. We need to teach our own children at home about what they're dealing with and then move from there. Not expect our enemy to say, okay, we're going to teach you what we did to you. You think they don't know what the hell they did to us? And then you think little white Becky and Karen and all of them don't know what the hell really went on? I mean, you out your mind if you believe that. I mean, it's ridiculous. Griff, you look like you froze again.
But
anyway, yeah.
But let me ask something. Kate,
you froze again, my man. Okay. They not Griff out the box. So Griff, this is a takeover real quick. Anyway, definitely, shout out to all the good people out there that's supporting this platform. Continue to support Serious Minds, because Serious Minds is definitely one of the few platforms out here that's that is giving it to you raw, uncut, and hardcore. So make sure you all continue to support what it is Professor Griff is doing. We appreciate you all joining us. I appreciate being a guest on this platform. You know what I'm saying? And shout out my man, Comrade Kwame. You know what I'm saying? And also, support Black Power Media. That's where we come from. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be seeing much more of Griff and I as far as this work. We've been working together for close to 2 decades, if not 2 decades. So always good to have the opportunity to come rock with you all, with his audience. So definitely appreciate that. I guess we're going to chat till he come back. How about that? Okay. We are out of our minds if we expect anything but hate from them, fam. True indeed. We're absolutely out of our minds if we expect white America to conduct themselves in a manner that will help us to advance as a whole. we're not looking to them for our education, for our enlightenment, or for our survival. And when we get through our heads and we truly begin to understand that we are our own liberators, as our comrade Jalil Muntaqim, who's a political prisoner, as he stated, until we recognize that we are our own liberators, then we will forever be enslaved. We will forever be enslaved. We have to be responsible for our liberation. We have to be responsible for our victory, and we have faith in you. We have faith in our brothers and sisters because of the fact that, we know that we all we have and we all we need, so you all continue to make sure you support those who are out here fighting, but also join in on what it is we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you join an organization, because of the fact that that's how they get you when you're not involved or organized. So look like Griff coming back. Griff, I had to do that quick takeover for you. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give you my address so you can mail me my check. You there, Griff? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now, man.
Can
Got
you
me
hear
working
me?
extra hard over here. Yeah, we got you. Can you hear me? Okay. I hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I hear
okay,
you.
so good. We live and direct. They don't want us to be on here together. What's going on? You still freezing. I don't know what the deal is with that, bro. State trying to work a number on us.
Yeah, you know what the deal is. Them people, man.
No doubt, no doubt. So you look like you good for now. So yeah.
So to answer this brother's question, brother, I need you in Buffalo. Brother, I need you in Buffalo ASAP. No. Fuck no. 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 Because when I was dragging my ass up the cold ass fucking Buffalo to get the brothers together, and thanks to Sonny Muhammad, the sister was bringing me up there. I was trying to get the brothers together so we can make something happen. Y'all wouldn't even come out and see the brother. Fuck no.
They left you hanging up there, Griff?
No. I'm holding my own right there, right here. Man, did they? No, not coming to fucking Buffalo.
Hey man, but just study and train where you at, man. Study and train where you at. Armed, organized,
exactly.
and aware. No doubt.
So I think if we're back, let's just sum this up.
Right on.
So now,
while we could,
there are going to be copycats. Everything is freezing.
Yeah, you back now when you said that. Yeah. So Griff, I don't know if you could hear me. You look froze still over there. We know you said you were looking to you wanted to sum it up.
Everything is freezing. I got history here freezing.
Man, it's colder than the white man right now. What's going on, man?
Yeah, you sum it up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll try my best, and you hop in when you get a chance.
We'll do a part 2.
No doubt. But in a nutshell, family, you have to get with your cadre, get with your comrades, get with some people who are serious about your plight. The internet is not the training ground. You have to be clear about that. Some of you ask a lot of questions, but the question is, are you taking it and making it practical? That's the ultimate question right there. Are you looking to advance and make things practical, or do you just like to hear what Griff have to say or what I have to say or whoever? You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than entertainment. It's bigger than hip hop. But Griff, you look like you're moving around a little bit. You good? Okay, you still on Dr. Freeze mode. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm good.
Oh, you good? Okay, word.
Yeah. So I think we definitely need to do a part 2 because I got a whole list of things I want to run down in reference to what I think their plan is. And I did want to pull up the manifesto so the people can see it for themselves. These people are not playing.
Right.
The manifesto is just not coming out of thin air, family. All right? They're not just making this kind of stuff up. This is an agenda, man. This is an agenda. And we have to understand the dynamics of this thing. And be for
So they freezing you up again, man. They got you like Iceberg Slim over there. But yeah, we're looking forward to doing the part 2. Y'all let us know in the chat if you're interested in the part 2, because I might not be saying shit. You might be like, look, we just gonna roll with Griff. We don't know what this Kalonji dude talking about. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, let us know if you wanna rock with a part 2, because we got something for you. Of course we were short on time, but I know that it's a whole lot more that we could delve into.
right. All right, we'll talk, Kalonji.
No doubt, brother.
All right.
Appreciate the invitation.
Give thanks.
No doubt. We'll wrap with you in a minute.
We're gonna start ending our individual shows by letting people know, man. We're gonna arm the masses.
No doubt. ATM, baby.
Arm the masses.
Get familiar with it. Yes.
All right.
Keep that in mind. Yes,
all
sir.
Right.
Salute, brother.
Peace. Salute.
Peace. Yes, sir.
Peace.